Welcome back. What we're going to do now is work on the leg. Okay, so we've already got a foot in place. The leg really is not the most complicated shape in the world. I mean, obviously, once we add some detail in, it'll look a lot more funky, but at the minute, it's not particularly complicated. So, the important part for us is to make sure that we have some level of separation between the knee join and the lower leg join. These are the important parts. Don't worry if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it will come to you. First thing I'm going to do is create our leg basically from this piece here. So if I shift, drag up, clone it to object, and this is lower leg. We're working quite fast here because I'm assuming that you've watched, some basic tutorials if nothing else. Right, we're going to reset the pivot. Center to object, and I'm just going to scale this up like so. Okay, that's good. Now what I'm going to do is get my border here and holding down shift I'm going to start thrashing out the shape of my leg. Now normally I create a cylinder to do this, but I'm going to do it this way instead. That goes to there, like so. Just checking this in my viewports here. And this one over here will go back to where the top of the leg is basically, which is up here. Just going to get the shape of the leg overall right. You can see obviously this is the part where it meets the top of the foot. We'll build some joins in soon. Okay, now go through this, just do a quick connect. Take the slide to 0. That breaks that up for me. It would break it up for me if it had worked. Hang on, do a connect. Oh right, of course there's absolutely nothing there. I'm being very, very silly. I do apologise for wasting your time there. I'll just bridge these two. A lot of people say I show too many mistakes in my tutorials. Yeah, well, artists make mistakes. Especially me. Okay, connect. Right. Now we can do this. A lot of using 3D Studio Max I've noticed in my time as an artiste is trying to work out the best way of making shapes using what you have. Okay, that's not bad. Just need to check on the width. Width could be better. Incidentally, we're using a lot of non-uniform scales at the moment, so remember to reset your X forms. Okay, doesn't take long, and if you don't do it, you'll cry. Okay, back through here again, and do another connect. Now the connect won't be straight, so I'm going to straighten it manually myself. There are no plugins in 3D Studio Max that will make your job so easy that you won't have to actually do a little bit of artistic work yourself. Don't bother looking. When we get to that phase, we'll all be using Poser. Okay, now I'm just going to move the entire piece down a bit, like that. It's important to keep your legs straight while you're doing this. I'm going to reduce the size of this leg by cutting off a piece for the knee soon as well. Okay, over here, what I'm going to do is take this bit, and I'm going to do a little inset on it, just like so. Okay, now I need to extrude this a little bit, so not too much, just a little, because we're making a bit of a complicated shape again, like I said we would be. Just make sure this is straight in the front viewport. Yep, it is. Okay, perspective viewport. And I'm going to extrude this manually up like that. A lot of this is about switching between viewports. Some people like to keep all 4 viewports open, but I find it a lot easier personally, and again, this is a personal thing, just using the one viewport and kind of zooming between it as I see fit. Okay. Just going to bring this shape in a little bit here, like that. That's one of the reasons I did that. Kind of complicated looking shape that you probably thought I didn't need. Okay. This is basically the cowl, so it can step down, I think, over the top of its toe at the front. So I'm probably going to want to move this a little bit more wide again, just so that it can. There, now it can pretty much, I think. Yeah, just about. Because my guess is that this part here is going to be hollowed down and in. Lots of bolts on this, which is making my heart soar with happy, because I love bolts. Okay, looking at the overall length of this system again. I'm going to reduce it in height a little bit, like so, which will give us room for our knee. Now the knee on Ed 209 is a thunderously complicated little contraption, so if I want to line these up, by the way, and make sure that our box is about straight, I can build myself a set square quite easily just by doing this. It's always worth building yourself a set square. Just remember to take angle snap off. The thing about 3dsmax is it gives you loads and loads of tools, but basically when it comes down to it, if you're modelling, you only need a couple of them. Okay, so now we can see where we've gone wrong and what we need to change. There we go, that should do it. Now I can get rid of our ever so helpful box and create our knee. And our knee is more or less the same size as this piece here, and more or less is good enough for me. So I'm going to extrude this out. Like so. Now then, I'm going to want to separate this piece off, so I'm going to detach it and call it knee, like so. This lower part here, I don't think I've actually separated that properly. Hang on. Yeah, I didn't. There we go. Detach, knee. That was just me doing a Control Z if you're wondering about what this mad magic I just did there was. Now over here, on this shape, there's a little piece comes out at the side here, so we're going to want to recreate that. I'm just going to hide my knee, and I'm going to build back in our missing polygons using the bridge tool. Okay. Close. Right. I'm going to loop this. Actually, no. I'm going to ring it, sorry. There we are. And that'll give me a connect straight down the middle here. And just looking at the kind of shape I want here, I'm going to have to do a cut from here down to here, and on the other side. Otherwise I'm going to end up with some broken polygons, which I won't want. Okay, now I'm going to just select the ones I want. Like so. And pull them out. Actually, I think I'll just do it by verts. Actually, no, I can just do it by this line here. Okay, just check that's not came out particularly evenly. This could be down to the placement of the pivot, though I'm not sure. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's not coming out evenly, but that's because that edge there is selected. If we do it now, it'll be fine. There we are. Okay, that gives us this kind of wide shape here. Unhide all. There we go. Okay, now we've got this knee shape here. The knee is not particularly complicated. Well, to model anyway. As a piece, it's ridiculous. The leg is actually one of the most complicated things on UT3. The arms, cylinders, you know. Okay, extrude. And I'm going to want to inset this a little bit first. And then extrude. Like so. And then extrude again. Like that. And if I go to scale, I'm going to scale on the local, if it lets me. I don't think it is. Nope. Oh no, hang on, I'm using the wrong one. You're probably thinking, why is he using the set selection? This is local, isn't it? Oh no, it isn't. That was bloody selection local. There we go. Right, bring that in, just on there, not too much. Okay, and let's have the knee piece has its kind of bottom bracket. Deselected, I'm just going to grow it. And then just sink this in a little bit more than it already is. Not too much though. That'll do. Okay, perspective. Now over here, I'm doing an insert. Like so. And extrude it in just a tiny bit. And now if I select my edges, here, here, and here, and just do a quick connect. Okay, we've got these 4 squares, which is ideal. What I'm going to do now is select the edges here. Well, actually, before I do, I'm going to take this, detach as a clone, and I'm going to attach it as what should this be? The kneecap, I suppose. Kneecap inverse. Okay, so this is our kneecap inverse. Effect pivot only, send to object. And what I'm going to do here is select these 4 middle edges, and I'm going to chamfer them manually because I want these pieces here. So what I'll do is I'll even chamfer it, and I'll open it while I'm doing it, and that'll just leave me these 4 very lovely polygons. I think I should probably chamfer that a little bit more actually. There we are. Now if I select these 4 and extrude them, now I'm going to extrude them up to about there. This basically allows our UT209 to kind of walk around. Right, now what I'm going to do is do a minor, very minor extrude. Okay, because I want to be able to bring these back down again. And this is going to enable me to bring these pieces together. So I'm going to collapse these 2 together. Oh, not that way. Actually, it's probably easier if I collapse the verts together. Like this. Ugh. Okay, maybe not. Bear with me, it's been a long day. I'll just weld them to each other. There we are. Collapse. Forgot to move the top polygon. I'm a bit of a numpty. I don't know who came up with this knee design, but it's an absolute killer. You just don't see these. You see the back leg, you see the chicken walker designs, you see all the old traditional like mech favourites, but you just this reverse knee is absolute genius. Whoever invented it just deserves a big old pat on the back. Okay, there we go. That gives us that shape there. Now if we go by edge, and just bring that out to a reasonable height, like so. Turn off local, just get a view. Okay, and just cap it. Do a quick cut. Okay, that's our knee cylinder pieces in. Now I'm just going to straighten these so they go to the right height. There we go. Drop back, and that leaves our knee, upper leg and lower leg. Now then, this foot looks quite small by comparison, so I'm going to size it up. Or I can just size these small, depending on how I feel. I think I'll just size these down a bit. Okay, so foot, lower leg, knee, kneecap inverse. I think I'm just going to drag. No, I'll leave that the way it is actually. Okay, that's fine. I'll see you in the next bit.